Hello everybody, welcome to another watercolor tutorial. We are painting a peach today because I'm looking for something easy to paint. That is the honest reason. And I don't think I've ever painted a peach on this channel. So I am using a new palette. Well, by now I guess it's not new, but I'm painting all these tutorials in one day, so it is new to me. I've linked it in the description, or I will. I'm very, very happy with it so far, so you have my stamp of approval. But anyways, let's just get into this peach. I'm gonna paint like a full peach and then a peach cut in half. I'm gonna do the half first. So you want to think of this peach as like two what do you call those, cheese puffs? Yeah, cheese puffs that are kind of angled towards one another. So I'll just paint it and you'll see what I mean. So you'll have like one cheese puff like this, and then another cheese puff. Sort of like that. And you want to fill your cheese puff in. I mean, you can fill the whole thing in and then just go over the seed later. Or you can just fill in the cheese puffs. Up to you totally. I'm so not used to having such opaque watercolors, like since using this palette, or since using my old palette, like you really had to water it down and rub it with a paintbrush in order to get the level of opacity that you wanted with the colors, whereas this palette is like super intense. Okay, so that's okay the way that it is. We have to wait for this to dry, honestly, before we do anything else. So that's what I guess we're going to have to do. In the meantime, actually, while that is drying, I'm just gonna jump over to the like non-half peach. So I'm gonna use the same color just to make it easy. And this time we're painting almost a complete circle, but not quite. So basically, we're gonna have, you could start at the top here when you're painting your circle. And then instead of like continuing on like this, you're going to kind of come inwards a little bit. So we're gonna have our stem coming like from here somewhere. Like the stem of the peach is gonna come out like this. So that's what you want to have how you want your circle to be angled. So sort of like this. And then you continue with the other part of your circle. You kind of connect it somewhere here like this. It looks a bit silly at the moment, but I'm gonna fill this in simply because I don't want those harsh lines to dry. Because this stuff is so opaque, I have to get used to it. It's a good thing. It really is a good thing, but I'm just used to working with the watercolors that I worked with before. So I'm just gonna try and leave a super thin white gap there so that we can still see that whatever that is, like that indent of the peach. I'm excited for peach season. Peach and nectarines. So many yummy things to look forward to in the summer and fall. Okay, so I think that this one, no, it's still wet. But the parts that we need, I think, are dry. So I'm gonna test my impatience here. We need a peach colored pink. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that original color that I used here. I'm gonna take, I don't even know what color that is. Alizarin red. That's what my little swatch thing says here. Don't get used to me saying the swatches though, because I just happen to have this open in front of me right now. But that was not the red I wanted. So I took, what is this? Vermilion. Or maybe it was orange red. I don't know. I took something. Okay, that's also not what I want. What is this one? Okay, that's, I think, more of what we're going with here. So this fourth one is orange red. So I'm taking orange red. Oh, you can't even see it on the camera because I'm zoomed out too far. But anyway, I'm mixing that with the original color to get this, you know, peach, darker peach color. And what we're gonna do is paint on the skin now, just on the outside. So actually, I'm gonna switch to a slightly smaller brush. This is a 00 by Winsor & Newton. Just to have a little bit more control. And we're gonna start a little, like around halfway, maybe a little bit further up on the left side of our left cheese puff. And we're gonna paint it a little bit wider as it travels down. And then it's gonna come up to like here, this part of the right cheese puff. So it's going to kind of go like this. That's way too much, but I can't do anything about that now. Or can I? I would have only gone to here. If I could go back. So we're following the contour. What can you do? Not everything has to look perfect. But I am going to try and fix that a little bit by just making that go up a little bit more. Something like that. Now, honestly, this should have been way lighter. So I'm going to hope that I can still pick some of this up. So I'm just wetting my paintbrush, drying it on a paper towel to get the pigment off, and then lifting off the paint as much as I can. Just on the sides, like I want it to be most concentrated on the bottom. But I think I've done as much as I can. And then this part, this little crevice is where it should be darkest, because that is where the light reaches at the least. And then the other place that I want to put some, like just the super lightest little accent, is up here. So it's going to look like that. That's even too light, but that's a better problem to have than too dark. Just like that. There we go. Okay, and now we can paint the pit, like the seed, the pit, where the pit is. So I'm just taking that same color that I used for the rim, and you don't want to, I'm not going to join the pit. Oh, I think it did join. But we're not going to join it at the bottom. It's definitely not going to go that far down. And you can paint it you don't want it to be this perfect line. I don't know if you guys have ever studied a peach pit, but when you look at it, it's very jaggedy and rough on the sides, because it has all these little holes in it. So that's what I'm trying to replicate here. And then I'm just kind of making my brush go any which way to create those pockets. And to exaggerate those pockets even more, I'm going to pick up like a darker reddish orange, and just drop those colors in random parts of my pit, but that's not even dark enough. I want something even darker. What is this? What is this? I'm just exploring all the different colors that I have in this new palette. Ooh, I like this one. Okay, this is like a plum color, but I think it complements the shadows and whatnot really well. So yeah, could look as abstract as you want it to. So that's good enough for me, I think. That's that. So let's move on to the outside, like a peach on what it looks like on the outside. We need to go over that pocket here that we painted before. So it kind of looked like that. Now I'm gonna rinse my brush there and then just spread this out, because I certainly don't want it to be that dark. Because I want this to be like, look like it's a shadow rather than a very intense line. So I'm gonna have a bit of a highlight over here. This looks like a butt. Oh man. Let's make it look a little less like a butt. So I just picked up that same color and I'm just kind of dropping it here somewhere. I'm trying to keep this area light because I want it to look like it's you know, a shadowed, or sorry, that's where the light is hitting it. That's what I meant to say. But it's not really spreading in the way that I was hoping. So I'm just gonna help it. Now it just looks like a butt with a rash. We're gonna fix it though. We're gonna add a stem and hopefully that'll make it look a little bit more like a fruit. So yeah, let's let that dry. I think I'm okay with the outside look there. I'm gonna switch to a smaller brush, so my 00 here, and I'm gonna pick up some brown. I already had some on my palette, so I'm just using that. And we're gonna add a little stem. You do want your peach to be dry before you do this, or you'll have this bleeding going on that I have, which, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take tissue paper or toilet paper, dry it, start over. Okay, that did not really turn out how I wanted it to. No, not at all. That just looks even more suggestive. But I'm going to stop talking. It's a peach, guys. It's a peach. Oh, man. Okay. We should add a leaf. Yes, let's add a leaf to this. This came out much better than that. But we will add a leaf and we will make this look a lot better. So I also have green on my palette already as well. So I'm gonna use that. And I'm just seeing if this is totally dry. I just used tissue paper to dry it because I am impatient. And so I'm gonna have my leaf coming out here. So I'm just filling my leaf in. And I must say that this looks a lot better with the leaf. I did that just because it was starting to bleed. because my peach wasn't dry. There we go. Okay. So the last thing I'm going to do, I'm gonna wait till this dries. I'm not gonna bother showing you guys because it's very simple. I'm gonna take darker green, I'm gonna use my quadruple zero brush, and I'm gonna paint on the veins of this leaf. So I'm just gonna have one line going like this, and then a bunch of lines on either side connecting to it, just like any regular leaf. And then that is basically it. That's our peach painting. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Please let me know what you think. I think this one turned out a lot better than I was expecting. Hit like on this video if you enjoyed it, comment down below, and I will see you in the next one.